Alright, so now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna make our dude and or dudette walk. Oops, I forgot I left that. There we go. We're gonna make our dude and or dudette walk. So, probably the best way to go about doing this is just to do the legs first, and then we'll kind of work our way up. So I've got left foot and right foot. So, I'm gonna start with the left foot here, and what we're gonna do is it's gonna take 24 frames, so which would be 1 second. So every 12 frames, half beats is going to be a walk. And in fact, actually, I'm just going to click and drag all the way down, and you can hit F5, or you right click and insert frame. All right, voila. Now, and actually, for that matter, well, see, I don't want to do it on this one yet. Go ahead and right click on the face, and we're going to create a motion tween. So you see that these are green. That's because they're already, it's automatically like tweened. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag across all the way down these again, and I'm just going to hit F6, or you right click, and you just do insert. Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't want to do that yet, because the beginning pose is not the correct pose. Okay, so I'm going to start with the leg here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lock everything out so I don't accidentally mess with it. So I got the left foot, and I'm going to animate this, guy walking back and forth. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to start with the contacts first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Q for the move tool, and I want to move it, actually, right by, we'll just go like, we'll say like that. Okay. And then I'm going to use my V, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to click and drag this back. So the contacts are typically where it is the, oops, come on. Let's see if this will, there it goes. Okay. The contacts are when the feet are the farthest apart. Okay, so we'll do the right and the left foot at the same. That's right arm and the right and left foot at the same time. That way might make a little more sense. So I got this, and I'm just gonna use the arrow keys, and I'm just trying to make this. We'll say something like that. Okay, and this is basically got to do the opposite. So I'm just gonna click and drag you. So this should be more or less straight and out. Okay, and this is actually a little bit, should be a little more straight, and we're going to take this and bend this a little. Let's go like that, so that way it looks like it's flat in the feet there. And I'm going to move this down a little so you can see the leg a little bit, but you can kind of see the knee. Okay, and we'll say that's okay for the legs apart. Okay, so this is going to be a loop, so I want what the first frames have to be the same as the last one. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and set a key. So I'm going to click and drag over both of these and hit F6, or you right click and insert pose. Okay, so now it's just one pose, but I have it keyed twice. Now I'm going to go halfway in between. I'm going to go to frame 12, and we're going to do the opposite. So I'll make this leg forward and this leg back. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one, and I'm just holding shift and the arrow key, and I'm moving it back because his leg would move back a little bit, just the way that I have it. And now what I'm going to do is grab and put this leg like it's back. Let me go and come on. I want a little bit of a bend there. It's giving me the bend that I want. Oh, come on. There we go. And we'll say like it's a little too. Come on. A little less. Okay, we'll say that's good. And put that back, and I want to bend this toe like that. Okay, so that'll be his back leg. I'm going to take this one, and it's called shift, and we'll go like here, and then I'm just going to grab this. Notice I'm on this frame, and see how it's automatically creating the keyframes for me. And that's going to come forward, and this should be stretched out a little bit more, and this toe can stay flat like that. Okay. And so now if you look, he's just going to do this, all right? And if I hit enter, you can kind of see that's how it's a little loop. Oops, let me extend it the full way. Okay. So you see it looks like he's skiing or whatever. So we have the contacts, which means that basically we have when the legs are the farthest apart, when the leg just comes down to touch, and then when it goes to the other side. All right. So now what I want to do is what we call the passing position. So that's halfway in between each one of those. So in this case, it would be frame 6. So which leg's coming forward? Okay, his back leg's coming forward here. So frame 6. I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to pull a little bit more this way. I'm going to take this and bend this more like that, and I'm going to have the foot kind of go like this, so it's floppy. All right, and in fact, actually, we'll go like that. So now it's going to go like this, all right? And then I'll go forward. Now, the passing position for this foot should be, I'm just going to straighten it a little bit. I'm just going to make sure this toe is straight down. So basically, it will look like that. All right, now I'm going to do the passing position the other way, and that should be 18. And that's this one coming forward. So I'm going to kind of bend it like this, and we'll grab this one, and I'm going to grab this one, and bend it kind of the opposite so it'll come forward. And if I enter, you'll see it's getting pretty close to a walk cycle. All right, not fantastic, but you get the rough idea. So, yay. All right, so let's just continue on with the feet here. I just want to make them look a little bit better. So this foot comes down and it's going to hit, right? But it would be nice if there was a little bit more of like a step in it. So what I'm going to do is go 2 frames over. I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull it back a little bit like that. I'll pull this one down like this. And then that should be good. So that way it'll look more like he hit the ground when he comes down. It's a little better. And maybe even here we'll go like that. See if that looks a little better. All right. So just to make it look like it's down, I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite one here. So when this foot comes down, this one, I'm gonna go 2 frames after 1, 2, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of a bend in there, and make sure that this kind of comes down, and this one comes down like that. There we go. Let's go to the frame before and just add a little bit of toe bend there, so that way it's okay. And let's see. Okay. All right. So he's gonna go boom. He's gonna bend. Okay. That looks okay. So now the other thing I want to do is he bends his leg, and you see he's already starting to straighten it, like this one here I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to tell, but so he's bends his legs, comes over, and then it's starting to straighten. I'd rather it didn't straighten until later, so I'm actually going to go here, and I'm just going to pull this up a little bit, and I'm going to pull this one this way a little bit, so that it'll take a little bit longer. And then on the passing position here, I wish this one was a little bit more straight, so I'm actually going to pull this down a little bit to make it more straight. And pull this up a little, and pull this down a little. That way it look a little bit better. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So when this one's coming forward, just going to make sure right about halfway here, kind of as the other one. Just going to pull this guy up a little bit more, bend it a little bit more. And then if I enter, you get kind of a rough walk. Now you could really kind of schmooze that, but you get a rough idea. Okay, so there are the arms, or the legs, and those work. I'm going to make some adjustments to those. All right, so let's go ahead and we're just going to do the body going up and down, because that's going to kind of affect how the rest works out. So I'm going to go to the body. I'm going to unlock that one, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to do and up and down. That's actually mostly what I need. We actually don't even need to use any of these bones for the most part. I threw them in there just in case you want to do a little bit, but for the most part, it's not super required. So I think it's fine for the start position, so I just need to copy it here. So I'm just going to hit F6, or you can right-click and enter pose or something. And also, it should be like this on frame 12, okay? So basically, it should always look like on that on 1, 12, and 24. Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is I got to do what we call the low pose and the high pose. So it's not halfway in between. It's actually halfway between of those. So what that means is I'm gonna go 1, 2. Oh, let's see. 1, 2. I guess we'll go here. I'm gonna take this and I'm going to I'm going to move him down. Like that. Okay? So he's going to go down, right there. And then he's not going to go up yet. I'm going to go right here. So this is frame 9, I guess. I feel like it should be 8. Let's go to frame 8. And then that'll be the high pose. So I got to select him. And I'm holding shift and up. Okay. So it'll go down, then up, and then it'll kind of settle. I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to go from, 12 to, I guess, we're going to say 15 here, and go down. And then at 18, it's going to go up. And now you'll see you'll have his up and his up and down, right? So it looks more like a walk should be. So that's pretty good for the most part. Now I could add a little bit like with his body just to give it a little more oomph, if you will. I could, like on this one, just add a little bit of like have it kind of go back. See, I think it just makes it look worse, but I'm gonna have it just go a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit back, a little bit back. So he goes a little bit back, and then on this pose, I'll have it go a little bit forward. Like just super small increments. And actually, I'm going to have this do the opposite. So when that part goes back, I'll have this one go forward. Let's see. That will go forward, and then when this goes forward, I'm going to have this part go back. Let's see. And then we're just going to leave that one alone. And again, when this one goes back a little bit, I'll have this part go forward a little bit just to compensate, and then I'll do the same thing here. And have this part go forward a little bit, and have this part go back a little bit. Like so. And it's just to add a little bit of pizzazz, but I don't think it even makes it look better in all honesty. I'm a little bit of a jump. But, where is the jump? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one here. So it goes doop, goes really far back. So let's take this, and let's see if I can fix that. That's a little better. Okay, so you can see he has a little bit of a walk, right? That looks pretty good. Now let's just go ahead and do the arms. So what I want to do basically is just set the initial position of the arms. So something like this is fine. I got, but if you look, actually, it's a little bit off. So the back leg right here and his back arm is right here. So they actually need to be the opposite. This guy needs to be in the front, and not the back. So what I'm going to do actually is, this is the position it should be for the midway. So at frame 12 it should be here. So I'm just going to go to frame 12, and I'm just going to hit F6 to create a keyframe, and I'm going to do one for the right arm as well. F6. I'm going to go back to this one, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in the position it should be. This should actually be in the front here, like that, and the back one should be in the back here, like this, like that. Because this front arm, your left arm goes front when your left leg is back. They move opposite of your legs. See what I'm saying? So like, they should be opposite of what they were. So that looks fine. But now, let's see, am I okay with that? That looks fine. It's not great, but it'll do. So now one of the problems is I need this last one to be what the first one is. So the easy way of doing that is I'm just going to go to this one, right click, and we're just going to go ahead and copy pose. And then we're going to go to the end here, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go paste pose. Same thing here. We're going to right click, copy pose, and right click, paste pose. And so now if I hit enter, you'll see that the arms go back and forth, and that's relatively okay. One of the problems I'm having though is that if you look, the body's going up and down, but his arms are not. They're just going linearly back and forth. So I actually want to more or less mimic the body going back down. So if you look at here, I got my keys for my body. So I got the neutral position, then down, then up, then neutral, down, up, and then neutral. So I'm just going to basically copy it. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to click on this guy, and I'm just going to hold Shift and the down arrow and do that. I'm going to click on this one, hold Shift down arrow, and click to move down. So his arms both move down like the body does. I'm going to go to the up position of where the body is, and same thing, just click on this, hold Shift and up arrow. Go to left arm, hold Shift to up arrow. There we go. So let's see. Let's see, up arrow, good. Okay. Same thing here. Then again, this is where the body goes down. So I got to select this one, Shift and down arrow. Go to the right arm, Shift and, oops, down arrow. It's important to even do it when you don't see it because it's going to affect the path that this is moving across. Then I'm going to go to the up position of the body, and same thing, Shift and up arrow. Go to the right arm here, Shift and up arrow. And now the arms will move closer to what the body is doing. Okay, so it's not a huge thing. All right, now the other thing I want to do is this. I want the arms to drag when they're going. So I'm going to concentrate on this arm first, and then we'll do the other one. So as his arm's coming backwards, it's going to actually drag. So I'm going to have it actually bend kind of up like this. So it like drags. Okay. And that's all fine. And then as the arm comes forward, it's going to be, again, dragged and kind of pulled. So I'm just going to straighten this arm out, and I'm just going to take this hand and actually kind of go like this. So it'll kind of straighten out, and then it will come forward. All right. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to select this one here, and I'm going to start here. So again, right about there at that position, I can't really see it. So let's click off and back on. I'm going to straighten it, and then we're going to go ahead and have this go up. So it'll straighten. And that's all fine. And then when it comes back, I'm going to click up and click back on the layer again. This should be bent like this. And this one's like that. Like that. And now if I hit enter, you're going to see he does this thing here. Alright, so his arms are going back and forth. That looks moderately satisfactory. Now we just need to do the face. So that should be relatively simple. I'm just going to go ahead and lock everything except for the face. Now the face, what you want to do is normally, I'll do it the right way, but it should be facing towards us when his arm is forward. Your head moves, just like the arms move opposite of the legs, the head move opposite of the arms. Okay, so they would move the same as the legs. So in this case, this starting position is fine. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if I already did this earlier, but right click, create motion tween. I already did it. And then at the end here, just hit F6 so that it's the same on the first and last frame. Now what we need to do is at frame 12, the opposite frame, we're just gonna take this and I'm gonna hit Q, and I'm gonna move it so that his face kind of goes up and over this way. And I'm going to squish it like this. Maybe rotate it a little bit. Like that. And so it'll look like he's going this way, and then he's going back. So you'll see. Alright. Now, that's more or less right. So it looks like he's kind of leaning, like his head's going back and forth. But again, we have the same problem that we had with the arms where his face is staying still, but it's not moving with the body. So we just need to make sure that we do that. So I'm going to go to the down position of where the body is, and I'm just going to hold Shift and down arrow. So it goes down with the body. Okay. Then we're going to go to the up and Shift and the up arrow. So it goes up with the body. Okay. Then again here, Shift and down arrow. And then we're the up position, Shift and up arrow. And it should move with the body now. And you can see it more or less looks like he's turning his head. And we'll click off. Oops, let me just... Now if I want to preview it, I'll hit Control Enter. And in this case, I actually did this one in JavaScript, but you would probably want to do it in the action script or whatever you're working on. But you can see there he is doing the cool man's walk. Alright, so that's more or less kind of a walk cycle. There's really not too much more to it than that. We're going to do this in class anyway, but in case you need help or tutorial, here it is. Your welcomes. Alright, Good luck.